Okay, a survey was given to 241 people that ask if they have college degrees and what was their annual salary. Click the download CSV to download the result as a CSV. So I downloaded that CSV here. Then it says upload your CSV to Google Drive. I've done that. Mount your Google Drive. I've done all that. Read the CSV file into Python as a data frame. So that's where I'm at. So what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at that data, but it's going to be a categorical variable and a numerical variable. So let's take a look at it. So first I want to import pandas so I can create the data frame. So import pandas as PD, that's the first thing. And then we'll create the data frame. I'll call it df, and it'll be equal to pd dot read CSV, read underscore CSV, right? And the CSV we want to read, we'll put it in quotation. It's over here on the file. It's this hollow histogram data. I'm going to download it. Oh, not download it. Copy the path. And I'm going to paste that path here. So inside the read underscore CSV function, I'm putting the parameter that is the file path. And then I just want to take a look at what this looks like. So df.head will show me the first couple rows of this data frame. So here I see that I have degree as one variable, either yes or no, y or n. And I see I have salary as the other variable. So the answer to the question of do you have a college degree, yes or no, and then the salary, the annual salary. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate this now. I'm going to create actually two separate data frames. One for the people that answered yes, and one for the people that answered no. So I'm going to partition this data frame along this categorical variable degree, whether by whether they answered yes or no. So I'm going to add a code cell, and in this code cell I'm going to look at the people that said that they had a degree. I'll call this data frame degree Y. So these are the people who said yes, I have a degree. Degree Y. And degree Y is going to be equal to, and here's how I'm going to isolate only the people who have degrees from the original data frame. So the original data frame is df. I put a bracket, and then I put another df because I want to describe what parts of df I want to use. So I'm going to open the bracket, open the square bracket, and the parts of df I want to use are where degree is equal to, so I'll put double equal to say where degree is equal to, because I'm going to use a string here, like not a number. And I want to do it where degree is equal to y. So these are all the people that said yes to degree. So what I have here is I'm going to create a data frame called DEG capital Y, and I'm going to use the original data frame, but I'm only looking for that data frame values, the rows in that data frame where that degree column is equal to yes. And if you want to take a look, we now have this data frame DEG capital Y, and if you put a dot there, we can actually look at the head of it. So let's take a look at the head of this data frame. And as you can see, these are only the ones that answered yes. So DEG capital Y is a data frame that has only the people that answered yes. I'm going to do the same thing for the people that answered no. So let's see, I'm going to call this one DEG capital N, and that's going to equal, well, let me see, it's going to be this exact same thing. So I'll just copy that. And instead of yes, I'm looking for the people that answered no. And if you want to, we can look at the head of this. It's DEG capital N dot head. And let's see what the head of this one looks like. And as you can see, these are only the people that answered no. So now I'm going to use these two data frames, and I am going to create two histograms, and I'm going to plot them on the same plot, two hollow histograms. So let's go ahead and do this then. Let's add a code cell. And for a hollow histogram, let me get some more space here. For a hollow histogram, we're going to need to use matplotlib. So I'm going to import that library or that API from matplotlib. I'm going to import pyplot. And I'm going to import it as PLT. So I'm importing pyplot as PLT in matplotlib. And then I'm going to create two variables to feed into these histograms. I'm going to call one of them X. And X is basically going to be the salaries from the people that said yes. So remember, I have this data frame, DEGY, D-E-G-Y, where I have salaries and all the people that said yes. So now I'm going to call the variable X the salaries within that data frame. So the data frame is called deg capital Y, and the variable I'm looking for in here is the variable salaries. So X is going to be all the salaries for the people that said yes. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Let me call this other variable Z. So Z now is going to equal, I need to get rid of this. All right, so Z is going to be the people that said no. No. So the people that said no, I'm also going to be looking at their salary. So I have two data frames now, basically, two lists of salaries. One X for the people that said yes to degree, and one Z for the people that said no to degree. And now I'm going to use those two to create my histograms. So I'm going to use the pyplot, which is plt.hist method. And then I'm going to tell it which variable I want to make the histogram out of, and the first one is going to be X, because I want to look at the people who said yes. And let me see, the people who said yes to degree, I'm going to give this, let's say 7 bins. So bins equals 7. And then the edge color, let's make that green. And not just edge color. And then for the alpha, let's make that equal to 1. And lastly, the type, let's make it a step type. So hist type, the histogram type, let's make that equal to step. All right. So that's for the people who have a degree, who answered yes to degree. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing by copying that and pasting it, except I'm going to do it with Z. That's the variable for the people who said they don't have a degree. That's their salary. So I just changed that to a Z, and I also want to change the edge color here. Let's change the edge color here. Instead of green, let's make that one red. All right, so 7 bins for each. Edge color of green for those that say yes, edge color of red for those that say no, and they're both steps. So the only thing I need to do now is show this plot with plt.show. And when I run this, I will get these two plots. So as you can see, I have more, it seems, people who said no. This red histogram has more numbers. You see, it's taller. And there are less people that said yes. So there are less people with college degrees than there are without. But also, it seems as though the people with college degrees, their salaries are on the higher end. And even though there's some overlap here, so there's some people on the people that make, like there's some people here that make less than $20,000 a year with no degree. But then there are also some people with no degree here that are making looking like up into the 90s. And it's the same for people with degrees, but the standard deviation, the spread is not as much. So here we have the hollow histograms for the people who said no in red, and the histogram for the people that said yes to the degree in green.